Hey guys, it's Drea. Today I had a video in mind that I've been thinking about for a while. I've done the Samples Made Me Buy It video, which I believe was started by It's Kirsten. She came up with that idea first. It's a really good idea because samples make us buy stuff all the time. But samples are a really good way to try something and kind of find out that you don't like it, so you don't waste your money. So this is the Samples Made Me Not Buy It video. So I actually spent some time. I went through some old empties videos of mine just to kind of remember what I've tried and why I didn't like it. And I want to just kind of bring this video to you and let you know why I didn't purchase something that I ended up using like the full sample of. Now sometimes it would be a foil sample, sometimes it would be a big deluxe sample size, you know, like the gift with purchase type size, and sometimes you can just like go to Sephora and get a sample. They'll make you a sample, which is another really good way to try something without having to spend your money on it. So I encourage you guys to do that as often as you can. Let me just hop into this. The one thing that really stood out to me when I was looking at all my old empties videos was all the Philosophy products that I've tried. Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar, Philosophy Hope in a Jar, Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar Eye Cream, like all these Hope in a Jar products. Now I've tried some other Philosophy products. I really love their cleanser. I'm not down on the brand as a whole, but all these Hope in a Jar products, they have never stood out to me as anything other than just regular plain old moisturizers. And they all come with a very high price tag. And I have said before, I don't really understand how they get away with doing that. By the way, I just want to say this video is kind of like a regrets video, maybe slash anti-haul, but if you have purchased these products and you love them, then that's amazing. Let us know why in the comments too, because I think it's good to hear feedback from other people that do enjoy certain products, because not everything is going to work for everybody. But the whole Philosophy thing, like, I don't get it. I don't feel like my skin ever looks any better with these products. I don't feel like it ever looks younger or plumper or lines filled in or anything like that. I just find these products kind of very boring. They're all very lightweight. Nothing is very heavy. Like, when I say heavy, I mean like very moisturizing. It's just very all lightweight. And so I've never found myself ever wanting to buy any of the Hope in a Jar products. Let's talk about Guerlain for a second. I have gone through 2 deluxe sample size primers from them. One is the gold primer, which I'm not sure of the actual names of these because they're partially French. I think it's called the Radiance Primer. It's supposed to be very firming. It has like gold flecks in it. And then the other one is the Meteorites Primer. And that one has little balls in it that actually, they like burst when they come up through the pump. And then when it comes out of the pump, it's just like a liquid, but they look like little balls in the jar. And both of these products I found very, very similar. Some people have touted the Radiance one for being very firming, but there's no science-based evidence that says putting gold in skincare does anything good to your skin. I feel like it's super, super, super gimmicky. I'm not sure what other ingredients are in that, but when I used it, I didn't find it made much of a difference at all. I didn't even really find that it was very radiant on my skin. It was just kind of a very liquidy primer and just like clear. It came out clear. You couldn't really see the gold flecks on the face. So there was no way that I was going to spend that kind of money on that primer for not doing much. And then the Meteorites Primer, it's kind of the same thing. It's meant to be radiant. There's no flecks in it or anything, but it's definitely meant to be radiant. Now, if you are going to be the kind of person who uses very, very lightweight foundations on top of it, then I could definitely see it working. It definitely doesn't do anything for oily skin because it is somewhat hydrating and it's supposed to be radiant. So for me, I wouldn't buy it anyway for that reason. But even if you're dry skin, it would probably work okay if you're not putting a super full coverage foundation on it, because it's really meant to kind of beam. It's meant to make your skin look very radiant and glowy, and you can't do that with a full coverage foundation on top. But if you're just doing light coverage, I could see it being okay for you. It was definitely not for me though. I have tried so much skincare in sample forms, like, because it's always a really good gift with purchase to get if you're going to get one, because skincare can be hella expensive. So one that I tried was the Laneige Water Bank Moisture Cream. When I saw this little container, it was bright blue, you know, it's a water moisture cream. I expected that that was going to mean it was super, super hydrating. I had also just tried the Dr. Jart Water Mask, which I have since purchased full size of, and that was super amazingly hydrating and it felt amazing on the skin. So I kind of was thinking the Laneige one was going to be very similar, and I was super let down, super disappointed. it was just like a plain old regular moisturizer, and I didn't find it very hydrating at all. And I'm oily skin. If you're dry skin, I could just imagine it probably just like your skin would just suck it up and then still feel dry. So I am not a fan of that one, and I didn't need to purchase it after trying it. I love the Bumble and Bumble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil Heat Protectant Spray. It's one of my favorite hair products I've ever used. It's a great heat protectant. It smells amazing. I tried the actual Hairdresser's Invisible Oil. Now this oil, it is an oil, like it's just plain old oil. It smells really good, and you're supposed to use it on your hair to make it very shiny, very soft, wonderful, all that kind of stuff. It was super oily. Like, I know it's an oil, but you still don't want your hair to look unwashed when you just washed it because you put something in it, right? And that's how my hair ended up looking. Very, very oily. It looked unwashed. It was very like heavy, and it really weighed it down. I ended up having to rewash my hair the next day because I just did not like that at all. I never really hear people talk about that. It's super expensive too. So I don't know who's buying it. If you have tried it and you love it, let us know what kind of hair you have, because it really didn't work on mine. And I'm talking like pretty dried out, damaged hair here. Like, I figured mine would be the perfect kind of hair to try that with, and it just wasn't. I want to talk about a couple makeup products here, not just skincare. So I tried the NARS Pore and Shine Control Primer. It was actually a pretty big hefty size. It was a deluxe sample size from Sephora. As you know, I'm very oily. I'm always on the lookout for new mattifying primers. I especially love trying them for free. So I had purchased this before I tried that. This is the NARS Smooth and Protect Primer, which I love. This has SPF 40 in it. It's pore filling. It's not super mattifying, but it does a good job pore filling. So I thought the Shine Control one would be pretty good to try. In regards to the Pore and Shine Control one, it really is too thin to actually fill in pores. Like, it's a very gel-like consistency. It's kind of lotiony feeling. So it felt really good on, and I felt like it did an okay job of controlling my oil, but nothing that would make me call it Holy Grail or want to run out and buy it. I loved this so much, I thought that the Shine Control one would be as good as this, but it's really not. Like, it did an okay job of controlling oil, but I have so many primers in my collection, I definitely didn't need to buy a full size, especially at NARS pricing, of one that just doesn't like an okay job. The Kat Von D Tattoo Liner is kind of a cult classic, especially on YouTube. It's definitely a YouTube made me buy it product. I don't know about you guys if you've ever tried it, and I do love that eyeliner. I think it's really, really, really great. Now she has another eyeliner, not as famous, called the Inked Liner, and that one is a felt tip. The tattoo liner is a brush tip, and the inked liner is a felt tip. And I got it as a gift with purchase, just like a mini, they're about that long, from Sephora. And I originally thought I was getting the tattoo liner. I was super excited to get it again, and it turns out no, it was a felt tip one. And I was kind of let down because I don't really like felt tip eyeliners to begin with, and I did use it. Like I said, felt tip is not my jam. I don't really love the way it kind of drags on my eyelids, so I didn't love that. But also, this definitely transferred from the upper lash line into my waterline, especially around like really watery areas, like right in here. It was always transferring down and becoming like gray and kind of spreading out there, and it's not a good look when that happens. And especially if your eyes are watery along this area too, because if you have a wing, you don't want it to kind of like dissolve and get all weird looking. So that was a big no, a big fail. The next product is something that's probably very much personal preference why I didn't end up buying it. It's the Clinique Take Off the Day Cleansing Balm. Now, I adore the Take Off the Day Cleansing eye makeup remover. I think it's amazing. It's a great eye makeup remover. I've never tried the cleansing oil, but I do love cleansing oils. Cleansing balms, for me, I just don't love the process of them. Like, they start out as kind of solidified oils. So picture like coconut oil when it's in its solidified state. It's very much like that. And once you put it on your hand and the body heat kind of starts melting it, it turns into an oil, and then you can kind of use it all over your face. So I don't really love that process. I would just like to start out with a cleansing oil and just go from there. I know a lot of people do like it. If you love it, let us know why. I also didn't love that when I'm putting it on my face, so I'm taking it out of the jar, right? And I'm putting it on my face, or I'm putting it in my hand, and then sometimes I have to go back into the jar for more. And any makeup that I've now gotten on my hands from doing that, I'm putting back into the jar. And I don't like that either. I find it very kind of unhygienic. I don't really like jar type products for the most part. A product has to be really great for me to appreciate it coming in a jar. I'd rather a pump in almost anything or a squeezy tube. So I don't love that part of it either. And also, once I actually had it on the face, normally what I do with any kind of oil cleanser is I will add water to it to make it very liquidy, and then I will go in with like a cleanser. So I do a double cleansing process. I'll do the makeup remover, then I'll go in like with my Philosophy Purity Cleanser or any kind of just regular facial wash, and I'll wash it off fully. And whenever I did that with the Clinique Take Off the Day Cleansing Balm, I always felt like there was still residue, especially like around the eyes. So that's why I didn't love that product. I know it's become a favorite for a lot of people, but definitely not for me, and I would definitely not buy it. I didn't even use up that whole sample. And the very last sample that made me not buy it is the Peter Thomas Roth 24 Karat Gold Mask. So PTR is definitely known for skincare. They do a few makeup products now, but for the most part it is definitely a skincare brand. They do a lot of masks. One of my absolute favorites from them is the Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. If you've never tried it, go into Sephora, ask for a sample, they will make you one. It really is like a warming mask. It really like exfoliates your skin. It's really, really, really amazing. But the 24 karat gold one, again, I feel like it's that gold gimmick. They're adding gold to something to say that it does something to your skin, and I definitely never found that it did anything. I had tried it. I actually went into Sephora, asked for a sample of it at one point, used that up, and then I actually got like a deluxe sample size in a gift set at Christmas, which probably had like 2 or 3 uses in it. Used that all up, and I still never saw a difference from this. And it's not a cheap product. I mean, when you're putting gold into something, probably isn't that, you know, cheap to begin with, even though the amount you're getting, I'm sure, is not very much. But still, it's that whole gimmicky thing, it's that marketing thing. They want you to go, oh my god, there's gold in this, it must be incredible. But really, it did nothing for my skin, and I was super let down with that. So definitely did not want to buy that. So those are all the samples that made me not want to buy the full size that I have to talk about today, but there are definitely a lot of other things that I could bring to you guys and review for you because I've tried many a sample in my day. But that's it for today. Let me know if you'd like to see a part 2 down in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed yet, definitely do that. I'd love to see you around in the future. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Speak to yourself kindly. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.